Welcome to the Metro Brokers online tutorial on how to add solds to your agent site. You will need to be logged into the back end of your agent site. Here I'm logged into the back end of one of our Metro Brokers agents who was kind enough to allow us to use her website in order to do this tutorial. So once you're in the back end, you want to come over to the My Website tab and click on that. Once on this screen, you're going to scroll down and find the Recent Sales tab and click on that. In this screen, you can see that it is showing all of Lee's sold listings. You can scroll down and see them all. And you can also see that up here, there are 3 different settings that you can use in order to retrieve solds and have them appear on your agent site. If this was set for auto, then the only listings that would come over would be the ones that were automatically pulled from the MLS. And the auto setting is really good if you are a agent that works strictly with sellers, and then it would pull over every listing that is marked in MLS as being sold by you. And then manual, this setting, it's not going to automatically pull anything over. So any of the solds that you want, you're going to have to manually add yourself. And this setting is good if you are a buyer's agent and work strictly with buyers. Then because the MLS does not show the buyer agent on solds, you're going to have to go in and manually pull those over and mark yourself as the buyer agent. And Lee has her set up for both because she works with both buyers and sellers. And so she wants to manually add all of the listings that are sold that she was a buyer's agent. And she wants the site to automatically pull her listings in MLS that are marked as sold. So that is the perfect setting for that scenario. And for each of these listings on here, you can see that you can either come in and click on this edit button, or you can delete the sold from your site if you no longer want it on there. Let's click the edit button so that we can see what that looks like. So you can see that it shows me the property details, and these asterisk fields are all required. So you want to make sure you have all of that information in there. And then it has the sale price and the sale date. Another required field, and this is where you want to mark whether you are the seller, the buyer, or you represented both. And then also in this editor box, it's going to pull over the information that was entered in the MLS. But you can remove that and add any additional information you want in there, which Lee has done with several of her listings, and I will show you that in a minute. And you can scroll all the way down to the bottom, upload more photos if you want, or just leave it as it is, or clear a photo. And then once you're done with all of your changes, you want to come down here and save it. Since we didn't make any changes, I'm going to click cancel. That takes me back to my list of solds. And I want to show you something really nice that Lee has done in here. She has edited these listings when she's pulled them over. And here she represented the seller. And instead of the verbiage about the information on this property, she's put under contract in 16 days. This one, she's the seller, under contract in 15 days. Here she's the seller, represents the seller again, under contract in 53 days. And where she represents the buyer, she just put represented buyer as buyer's agent. Here's another one that is as a buyer's agent. I think that's a really nice way to handle these because when people are coming and looking at your recent solds, they're really not interested in the information about the property. They're more interested in how you handled the listing. So I really like the way Lee handled that. Now, I want to show you how to add a listing to your recent solds in case you have it set to manual or both. So you're going to come up here where it says add recent sales and click on that. It's going to open this screen where you can add a sold. So in this drop-down box for source, you can either use an MLS number or a Terabits ID, which is what is issued to pocket listings. So if you had a pocket listing that was recently sold, you can definitely pull that over here as well. For our purposes, we're going to use the MLS number. And so I am going to put in the MLS number here and then click on Retrieve Details. Now, if I didn't retrieve the details, I could go ahead and add this manually, but I would definitely have to add the all the fields that are asterisked in red here. So I'm going to go ahead and retrieve them. So click on this. It pulls all the information over from the MLS. So here we have the address, the list price, all that information. Now down here I want to come and click that she represented the buyer on this transaction. And she would want to put in the sale price of this and the sale date. If it was definitely, if she was the listing agent, represented the seller. So that's important information. For our purposes, she represented the buyer and I don't have that information, so I'm going to skip it. And this is where where I was talking about where she edited this and she just deleted this information and she would write in here how long the house was on the market before it was under contract, or that she represented the buyer on this. And now I'm going to go and save this. It tells me that it's saved successfully and I can just click OK. Once I do that, it takes me back to the list of my solds. And if I scroll all the way down, then I can see that here is my listing that I just added. So let's do that again. Let's just add one more. Put in the MLS number, retrieve the details. It has all the information in here. I'm going to click that she was the buyer's agent. Scroll down, click Save. Okay. Takes me back to my list. And scroll down, and sure enough, there it is. Shows her as the buyer's agent. And whenever you're doing any work on your agent site, I highly recommend that you double check it. So you're going to come up here to the My Website tab, click on that, and what happens is it opens the consumer side of Lee's website. And once we're here, we want to come over here to Recent Sales and click on that. That's going to open all of her recent solds. We're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and sure enough, the two listings that we entered are appearing. So that is how you can add recent solds to your agent's site. And I hope that this tutorial was helpful. Thank you for watching.